Hmm. What's up, guys? Paul from Golf Authority. Welcome to the Behind the Golf Brand podcast. This week, I have my good friend Jesper Thuen from ECCO Golf Shoes. Everyone knows ECCO is. If you don't, you probably don't have a job, and you probably don't play golf because they make the most comfortable golf shoes and work shoes. I was just telling Jesper my story about my shoes around. So I'm really excited to have him on the show because they're a legend in the shoe world. So without further ado, welcome to the show. So Jesper, where are you right now?
I am in Denmark. So ECCO is a Danish company, and currently I work out of our headquarters. We are a little bit on travel restrictions at the moment, so I'm back in Denmark, where I am born and raised. So all good here. It's summer and it's really nice.
Beautiful.
And people are. It's nice in the summer here. Winter are not very nice, but the summers are great, and a lot of people golfing, which we love, of course.
So do you guys have like weird lockdowns right now?
No, we have been fortunate in Denmark. The number of cases is it's not huge, and we are basically fully open. So almost back to normal, I would say, despite that's not the case in the rest of the world. But we have been fairly lucky. So it's a Denmark, small country. We're only 5.5 million people here, and people have been good at following instructions to stop the spreading of the virus.
So there's like no weird lockdowns right now or anything?
No, not really. So the only thing that's not really open is nightclubs. Restaurant and bars can be open until 2. But other than that, yeah, people are.
What happened with like COVID there? Was it like super strict? Like, because you were saying like you went back to, you were in Boston, then you went back home in March, and then you never have been able to come back, essentially, right?
No, so there's travel restrictions from Europe into US. So I'm not allowed to travel into US at the moment from Europe. So I haven't been back since March last year, which is a bit strange, and I haven't been on an airplane, for 1.5 years, which I can't remember when that happened the last time. But hopefully things open up soon again, and can travel and can go back to US. I really enjoy being there, so I'm very eager to get back.
Kind of miss it.
Yeah, I do. So nothing like American sports. That's definitely something I miss here in Denmark. Yeah.
You guys have a good soccer team, right?
Yeah, soccer is big here. Handball, which you don't play in US, and not really my thing. So I'm kind of a hockey guy. So I love to go.
Are you really?
Yeah, I am.
Do you guys play a lot there? Like in
Denmark? Yeah, I play quite a bit actually. And we have a few Danes actually over in NHL, which is quite amazing because we only have 16, 17 rinks in Denmark. So yeah,
like Arizona.
Yeah, so it's not a lot. So considering the size of the country and how many players we have, we're doing all right. But of course, it's nothing like going to a hockey game in US. And I was based in Boston. I went to watch a few college games, and I thought it was amazing.
Friggin' college hockey in Boston, it's insane. Like
it was good. Yeah,
like for real.
And of course went and saw a few Bruins games as well, which I really enjoyed. So so I can't wait to get back to US, hopefully soon.
So when do you think you're going to be able to come back?
I don't think it's going to be before January. So right now, hopefully the PGA show will happen, and we really look forward to go to Orlando in January and see all our colleagues in the industry and see a lot of our accounts, which we haven't seen for a long time. And I really
hard for you, right? Like because I mean, you're with your role, it's like you can't even be in the United States, so now it's like all Zoom calls or whatever, right?
Yeah, I have taken my fair share of Zoom and calls over.
And then there's like how many hour difference? Is it 6 hours?
Yeah, 6 hours time difference. So it's been a bit of evening work, but
yeah,
you know what? It's all right, and I mean, there's many people around the world who are having much tougher than I am. So I'm definitely not complaining.
So are you like a golf pro or something? or like, well, how did you get into this?
Yeah, so actually, I have a dad who's a PGA professional. So I basically grew up in the back room of a pro shop, and my father is still a golf pro. This way, he turns 70 next year, and I think he's been a golf pro for 45 years now. So yeah, so I was basically grew up in the game, started playing when I was like 4 years old, and had a little stint as a professional back in the 90s. Played on the Challenge Tour here in Europe,
That's cool.
and that was actually how I got into to ECCO, because I was the first player that ECCO signed back in the days when we started making golf shoes in
Really? I didn't know
1996.
that. Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
so I have a bit of history with the company, and ECCO Golf basically started off as a hobby project, and it's been just an amazing journey over these last 25 years. We can actually celebrate 25 years anniversary this year. So and now we consider ourselves as one of the world's leading golf shoe brands, and yeah, it's been a tremendous ride.
So you grew up playing golf, and then did you go to school? Like, I don't know how it works in Denmark. So do you go to college and play golf, or you go like from
No, you basically
secondary
go to
school to
school, yeah, and
yeah.
then you play golf after school. And there was a bit of a golf team in the school I went to, and but it was not like an official program in the school or anything. So that is in a club. So of course I played in a club where my father was a golf pro, and and yeah, played golf all the time. Not so much in the winter here, too much
Oh,
snow.
it's freaking cold there, dude.
Yeah, and but summertime and the whole summer holiday, I mean, I was on the golf course every single day, and then I got into the national team when I was around 14, I think,
Wow.
and then it got a little bit more serious, and got to travel around Europe and play
You're
tournaments. Yeah,
yeah.
so that was great.
So then you played professionally for how many years?
5 years. So when
And
I
then you
was 25, then I was not really good enough, to make it to the big stage, and so I took my 5 years, and then it was time to get a proper
but the
job.
time but yeah, well, that sucks. But I mean you have a good job though, so it wasn't like you gotta get a job, at IKEA or something. But
Yeah,
um so when you got out of playing professionally, then you were already working with Echo because they were sponsoring you essentially, right?
yeah. No, I worked in a few other companies before that, and then I joined our distributor in Denmark for Echo Golf in 2002, and in 2004 I joined Echo headquarters, which is located down in the southern part of Denmark on the border to Germany. And yeah, and then I had various roles over the years. I started as a sponsorship and PR manager, and then it turned into global marketing manager. And then I went to Asia actually for 3 years, and was in charge of our Asian golf operations,
Wow.
based in Singapore, and then on to US, and now I hold the role as GM for Echo Golf in US.
So what what's the biggest push right now, would you say, for the golf shoe industry then? Is everybody trying to go for the lighter shoe that's more of a walking shoe, or is it more, because I've seen it now, like shoes are changing a lot.
Yeah, they are, and over the last 10 years, I think we were one of them who basically started, which we don't want to call a trend anymore, because now it's real. And we went to a bit more sporty shoes, and that whole thing started with Freddie Couples wearing the Golf Street back at the Masters back in 2010, and now people, the shoes today are much lighter. It's much better materials. You get better traction in the shoes, and I would say overall walking comfort in a golf shoe today compared to just 15, 20 years ago is yeah, it's amazing. And it's always, for us, an eco comfort is the most important thing, and we want people's feet to be feeling just as good when you walk off the 18th green as they did when you walk onto to the first tee. And because we believe, if you get tired in your feet during a round of golf, then you'll be tired in your legs, and then be tired in your head, and you don't play as much. So comfort is definitely a performance feature. And then, of course, the golf shoe needs to provide enough stability and traction during the golf swing. And but definitely comfort for us is absolutely the most
That's what you're
important.
known for. Like for real, you guys make like the most comfortable shoes on the face of the earth.
Thanks so much.
Like that's what you're like. I mean, my dress, like I said to you before, my dress shoes are ECCO. They're like wearing slippers. I've had them forever. I'll probably never get rid of them. So it's like you're known for comfort, which I think is really cool. Because there's so many shoe brands out there, but it's not maybe they're not known for like being the most comfortable, right? Like
No,
that's hands
maybe not,
down.
yeah.
You guys are the most comfortable. I tell you right now.
But that's a philosophy in ECCO that all shoes we are developing, we develop, we call it forms follow function. So we always develop a shoe around the foot and not the other way around. We don't come up with any fancy designs and then hope they fit. It's always the feet that comes first, and we design our products to follow the natural shapes of the foot, and that's one of the reasons why we have really comfortable shoes. And ECCO has been around for more than 50 years, and we have great experience in making comfortable shoes and golf shoes for 25 years now. So we know what it takes to make really good comfortable golf shoes.
So what's the story with ECCO? Like, how did it start?
Yeah, and it was founded by a shoemaker called Carl Tusby back in 1963, and he decided to start his own company down in the southern part of Denmark, and he wanted to basically to make the most comfortable and best shoes possible. And it started with ladies' shoes to begin with, and today, we have ladies, men's shoes, we have athleisure shoes, we have outdoor, we have kids, and we have golf shoes. That's basically how it started. And then golf was actually a bit of a coincidence, because Carl Tusby, he got a set of golf clubs from a partner back in the 90s and started playing golf. And he was wearing other golf shoes that was in the market at that time, and he didn't believe they were, first of all, not very good quality, and they were absolutely not
comfortable.
They're
all heavy and leather. I remember, like, seriously, they're not comfortable.
No, and so he thought he could do that better, and he started basically as a hobby project to make golf shoes, and they came out pretty well, good, and he thought there were so many things you could do with golf shoes. So we were actually the brand who pioneered, comfort in them, build comfort into golf shoes, but also do them a little bit more colorful. Back in the days, all golf shoes were basically, black, brown, or for the good players, they
and they're all leather, shoes. They're just like
heavy leather shoes,
heavy leather shoe with like the ugly spikes.
So so we brought colors in, we brought a little bit more exotic materials into golf, and we wanted to make it the golf shoes look a bit better, be more fun, and of course be very comfortable to wear. So that was basically how golf started, and for the first number of years it was not really a serious thing in ECCO, but then in 2002 it really took off, and it was taken serious, and we started building up distribution and was a bit more serious with design and product development, and now today we are considered as one of the leading golf shoe brands in the world.
So who's your competitor, would you say, or competitors? Nike?
Yeah, of course. I would say FootJoy to start with.
FootJoy, right? That's
FootJoy is the market leader and doing extremely well. FootJoy, Nike, Adidas is our main competitors, good colleagues, and they also make great products. But we try our best to beat them.
So you guys came out in the 90s. And was like, so the biggest thing, I guess the difference between you and the competitors at the time was like the color, the design. Like no one was really doing that because Nike wasn't in the golf shoe business back then, were they? I don't think
no, not a lot. No, yeah, we were.
FootJoy. That was like the only one you could buy, pretty much, or some knockoff brand that your dad found.
Yeah, FootJoy has been the market leader for many years, and they were also around then, and also did good products. But we always try to be a little bit different, and we want to surprise our consumers every year with new technologies or new designs, and we try to do that every year when we bring out new products. So we were the first brand who brought out golf shoes with anatomical shape last, which we have in our Biome shoes. We have done Gore-Tex around with 360 breathability. We have a model out now called S3, which have 3 different densities in the midsole. That gives all the features you need in a golf swing and walking comfort. So we have brought out a lot of technologies that we have pioneered in the golf industry. And we can do that because we are a little bit different from our competitors, because we own the whole value chain, which means that we have our own tanneries where we do our own leathers. We have our own shoe factories, so we don't outsource anything. And that means we can control the quality process.
Yeah, like you're not on someone else's thought,
no,
right? Or whatever they might do.
We can control the whole manufacturing process from A to Z, and also developing new technologies in that we believe is beneficial for the consumer. So that's a huge benefit. We have that we have the whole value chain in ECCO.
So what would you say is your most popular shoe right now?
We launched a product called Biome H4, which was the 4th generation in our Biome Hybrid franchise, and that is our most popular shoe at the moment, and consumers are really happy about it. We built in a bit more stability in it. We changed the leather also, and we did, I would say, quite an extensive update to that product, and the feedback is really, really positive, and they do really, really well around the world, actually. So
oh yeah, that's what everybody knows you. Like, that's the word, right? So who, like right now, who do you have signed with ECCO when it comes to shoes?
Yeah, of course, Freddie Couples is still wearing our shoes. I was playing golf with my old friend Thomas Bjorn, the former European Ryder Cup captain, the other day. He's still on contract.
Did you
win? No, we played on the same team actually, and we won that, so that was good.
I wonder why.
Yeah. And then we have Henrik Stenson, and we have Erik van Rooyen, who won on the PGA Tour last week at Barracuda Championship. On the female side, we have Lydia Ko, which has been playing extremely well this year, and we have Minji Lee, who just won in Evian and won her first major. So our staffers are actually on a roll at the moment, which is nice to see. And Erik wore the H4 with a hybrid outsole, and he's really, really happy about it, or happy about them. And it was really great to see him get his first win on the PGA Tour.
It's pretty cool too, like, you know, when you get European players like backing the brand too, you know, like, because it's like, I feel like, you know, the U.S. dominates so much of it. So when you see like European players like starting to do really well, you're like, oh, good, you know, like not Rory, but you know what I'm saying, like Henrik, and like, I don't know, I think it's cool.
Yeah, I spoke, of course, a bit about Ryder Cup with Thomas the other day, and of course, what he thinks about it for this year, because I mean, on paper, I mean, the US have by far the strongest team, but sometimes or a lot of times it seems like the Europeans they find an extra gear when it's Ryder Cup time, and I know they have a really good camaraderie on that team, and they have a really great week. So it's going to be interesting again. I mean, the Americans are by far big favorites, but in Ryder Cup you never know what happens.
One choke, like, you know, something will happen, like last time where you guys kicked their ass. So
yeah, it was really cool down in Paris. So
where's it at this year? I forgot.
That was in Paris at PGA National, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
And Thomas was actually the captain, so
that's so freaking cool.
He still talks a lot.
Man, you know everybody. You guys like playing a scramble or something, or what were you doing?
And we were actually playing. There's a challenge tour event that is part of the ECCO Tour in Denmark, which is played in Denmark this week, and there was a pro-am on Tuesday, and Thomas was so kind to show up and played, and I played on his team. So that was a really cool experience. And great to play a little bit of golf with him again.
So what's coming out like in the next, would you say, this year? Is there any more releases happening, or is this kind of starting to slow down?
No, we released the new Biome H4, which is our big release for this year. Now for autumn winter, we're just bringing out a few color updates on existing models, and we won't bring out anything new before next spring. Right now, as you probably heard, the most important thing for us is actually supply, that we get our products from our factories in time. You probably heard about all the issues that has been with containers and port issues and stuff. And now it's for us, the most important thing is that we get enough products into the US. It sounds a little bit crazy actually that we have these kind of problems, but everybody in the industry seems to have a little bit of inventory problems at the moment. And we are lucky we have our own factories and we can control a lot of it ourselves. But of course, containers and port issues that we can't control. But hopefully things.
It's a real problem. I didn't realize it. Like, people say that, and then when you like go to people's offices or warehouses, and they're like, "We don't have anything." They're like, "Wait, what?" And then I talked to my friend who owns like an independent shop a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, "Hey, how are things going?" I'm like, "I'm looking for a set of used clubs for somebody," and he's like, "I don't have any used clubs." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "Because we can't get new clubs in." So he's like, "It's a 12-week wait for new clubs because it's taking forever. So people just want to buy the used. So I have no used clubs now, and I have no regular clubs. Now I can't. What am I going to sell?" Right? Like, and I had no idea it was that bad. Like, I had no idea.
No, it's been pretty bad for a while now, and I don't think the situation will normalize before sometime in 2022.
Way kind of, like, and then there's the issue with the balls and the urethane. Like, that's been going on for a year almost. Like, I heard that last September from Dean Snell. He said, like, "Oh, we can't get urethane," and so it's crazy. It's just crazy right now.
Yeah. So and I hear from colleagues, there's problems with supply of grips and shafts and all sorts of components, to build clubs, and and then all the shipping issues on top of it. It's just it's been
I bet you the
certainly
secondary
been a
market is like
year.
going bananas right now. Like the secondary golf market for like used clubs or stuff from generation before or whatever. I bet it's already sold out.
Yeah, that's what I hear. To find beginner sets, and it's literally impossible of what I've heard. And but I mean the golf have been booming, basically since the COVID situation started, and seems to be continuing. And the market grew tremendously the first quarter or the first half of this year, and people really want to get out and play golf, and people feel safe on the golf course, which is great for our sport. And it seems like also we are getting a bit younger people into the game, which was really needed. So that is great to see, despite it's on a little bit of a tragic background with the pandemic.
Well, plus like being a apparel company or a shoe company and having like not only comfortable shoes but good design, like it helps because then all these new golfers coming in that had no idea, right? Like before they think it's a stuffy sport, and then they realize, oh, there's cool stuff. Oh, it's comfortable. All right, cool.
So and I think also I really like to see that other forms of sports like the Top Golf and these kind of facilities are showing up, and people really having fun with golf, which I think was very much needed, and I know that everybody that goes to Top Golf maybe not go to a regular golf facility, but for sure some people will do it, and it's really good that it is these new initiatives, to bring people into the sport, and especially the younger generation.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a crazy time. I don't know. It's just you don't realize how hard it is to be in the golf industry. Like they probably will have the PGA show because they need the money because they had one last year and it was lame, and well, they had the one online, but still, like, I don't know. I feel like it's both a blessing and a curse, right? Like you're doing the best you possibly can, and then you can't get supply, which would never happen.
So, but I really hope that the PGA show will happen, and we are very eager
You
to
just want to go
go.
hang out with your friends. I know what you want
Yeah,
to
of
go
course.
do.
No,
That's
yeah,
all you. That's the reason people go. I
we
mean, come
are
on.
we all family in golf, so it's a one big family. So it's always good to go and catch up both with colleagues, but also with our accounts, of course, and see them. And of course, you can do a lot, via Teams or Zoom meetings, but it's not the same as meeting people in person. And
Yeah, like the first time I went the first time last year, like 19. I'd never been
yeah,
before, and I've worked with so many people at this point. It was just so exciting to actually meet them in person. I've talked to them on the phone a million times, and it was weird. It was like your long lost family, and then you just knew them because you just become friends with them over the years. So you're like, hey, what's going on? And then you're like hanging out. Yeah,
yeah.
that's the reason why I would go. I wouldn't. I don't want to pay for it. So people in the chat are saying you guys need to come out with a red, white, and blue ECCO biome shoe.
Yeah,
An
and
American
we
one.
actually, I can tell you, we are bringing out now. We are in the process of selling in for spring summer 22 now, and there is a red, white, and blue shoe in the
There you go,
collection.
John.
So, yeah, so you will
There's
get
one
that
guy
one.
right there. I was gonna buy it.
So, and that's in the Biome franchise also. So, it's a great shoe and it looks really good.
So another person saying they would love to see a BOA option for female golfers. So
Yes. And that's actually coming already this autumn winter. So they will be in the shelves September, October time, both on H4 and S3s. So we have an increased demand for BOA products, so we are bringing out a bit more BOA, and that will be both for both genders. So there will be actually quite a few options coming out. And as I said, September, October time, they will be available both on ECCO.com and at our retailers.
So H4 just came out this year, right?
Yeah, that launched back in March.
Those are cool shoes. Which one do you like the best?
I like white shoes. I grew up in white shoes, and I have always liked white. I don't play golf myself in black shoes, but I think we have a lot of cool color options, and also the light grays, which I think is really good. And also for the women, we have a lot of good color options there. For men's, it's a little bit hard to sell bold colors on men's shoes. But for women's, we have a number of really, really good color combinations that is very appealing.
It's interesting when it comes to shoes because, like in the last 2-3 years, there's been a lot more bold colors when it comes to men's shoes, right? And then there's also brands coming into it, like Duca del Cosma and Royal Albert Ross, like $300-$400 shoes that are like multicolor.
Yeah.
I mean, they're doing well. I mean, they're so. I think
Yeah, and
it's
we
a
in ECCO,
weird
we really
time.
like colors, so we are really happy to
Yeah,
see
you
that
freaking
there's
Dutch, man. You guys love colors.
we do, and yeah, so it's really nice to see there is a demand for colors.
Finally, right? Because there wasn't really a lot of color in golf, and until like the last 10 years, and then now it's moved to shirts. Like men's shirts are more colorful, right? That's the biggest style. Shoes are starting to become more colorful. I think it's cool.
So
And that's how you're gonna be able to also, the next generation of golfers. That's what they like. So it's like
yeah,
you can't come out with the white shoe.
and especially if we get more young people into golf, they are a little bit more daring, I would say, and would like to have more colors. So that's definitely something we look forward to, and we will continue, to have a heavy focus on colors.
So what's your favorite shoe then, right now?
I'm
H4?
actually I'm a big fan of the S3, which you see, and that was a little bit further down, the one on the right here with the light blue. And so with the 3, or the light gray. Oh, on the left now.
Oh
That
crap! This
that
one?
gray. No, all the way to left.
Sorry, let me reverse this.
If you go back one and
1 second. This is what happens when I click the wrong box. And it's taking forever to load.
So you have, that on the middle line, the white with the light blue outsole all the way to the right now.
Oh, this one?
No, two more to the right.
This one?
Yes. So you
What
see they
color?
have these
cool.
3 different colors on the midsole, and they actually have 3 different densities. So it's have the
really?
so it have the firmest density in the mid part of the shoe, where you really need lateral stability during the golf swing. Then it's slightly softer in the heel part on the red part here on this shoe, where you still need a bit of stability, but you need a little bit more cushioning for when you're walking and you do your down step. And then the softest part is in the front foot, where you see the light gray. And that's where you need, to have all the comfort for walking, because that's where the shoe are flexing. So
right in here.
Yes. So 3 different densities that we are doing there, and it's just a tremendous golf shoe and extremely comfortable. But it also provides all the stability you need during the golf swing, and it's that is also Henrik Stenson's preferred shoe, and he says it's like walking on clouds. So I take.
I believe that. It's not like, some brands would be like, oh yeah, we make comfortable shoes. Like when you say that, I'm like, oh, no doubt, I bet it does. Like I'm not even questioning it. I'm not gonna be like, yeah, Jesper, it's like walking on clouds. But no, I'm like, I bet it really does. Oh, that's so cool. You guys make cool. I love your guys' logo too. This is a cool bottom of a shoe. Wow.
Yeah. So I like the look of it. I mean, it's very sleek upper, and then you have the color combinations on the midsole that gives the shoe some pop, and some really nice colors on here. And they will be available in a BOA version also this autumn.
So what's the difference between BOA? Like, what makes BOA so special? I guess a better way of saying it. I forget people.
Yeah, I mean, it's a convenience thing that you don't need to lace up your shoe, and you just have the dial where you can just twist and turn it, and then you.
Did you guys invent that, or who invented that?
No, BOA is a separate company, so they are an external vendor of ours, and BOA. You see BOA on basically all golf brands. And a lot of other brands are using the BOA technology also, and and it's getting more and more demand in US, and in a market like Japan, then the majority of shoes, I would say probably almost 90% of all shoes sold in Japan is with a BOA dial, and so it's getting more and more in US.
I heard this week from somebody that like Japan is blowing up in golf right now, like just blowing up. Like they said that one I'm not gonna say who, but they have an inside source. They said that one of the manufacturers for clubs, like 80 to 90% of their sales are coming from Japan this year, of a major club company. And I was like, holy crap. And he's like, yeah, the sales suck in the United States. And he's like, but in Japan, it's like biggest ever. And I'm like, really? He's like, oh yeah. But I didn't understand, like, why? Because of COVID, or I mean, Japan's always been big into golf.
Yeah, and Japan has always been a big market. It's the second biggest market in the world after US. So it's a huge.
More than Europe, really?
Yeah. So Japan and also Korea is on, which is the third largest golf market in the world, is also booming. Mm-hmm. Really, get a lot of young people into the game, which is really great. And in Korea, they play just as much golf on simulators as they do on regular grass course. So it's quite interesting over there.
I heard about that. Like that's the big thing there, right? Like everyone has it on the sim, or you can go to a bar, and that's like a big thing in Korea right now.
Yeah, and in a lot of office buildings, they have the simulator facilities, and then people, on their lunch break, they go down and play 9 holes of golf in their lunch break on a simulator, which is.
So I was looking at YouTube, and like some of the biggest golf YouTube channels are like from Japan and Korea, and I don't even know what they're saying, and I don't even know what they're doing, but they're not really playing golf, like kind of goofing around or whatever. But like, they'll have like 1 million views in the first day, and I'm like, what are they watching? Like it's not, and it's I don't even know what it's called. I don't read Japanese, but I was like, I'm really impressed. I'm like, holy crap! So is that, are you guys making a big push there, or you guys already have a pretty big presence in Japan right now?
Yeah, and we are already there, and we have been in
Yeah.
Japan and Korea for many years, and we are one of the leading brands there, and yeah, and also we are seeing some tremendous growth over the last 15, 16 months in both in Korea and Japan. So that's good. Currently, we sell golf shoes in ECCO. We sell in 45 different countries around the world. So and the US is by far our most important market. Of course, because of the size, it's by far the biggest golf market in the world. But Japan and Korea is focus markets for us as well.
Would you say that I mean, I don't know anything. So like, do a lot of players still wear spikes, or cleated shoes, or is everybody kind of moving towards just a regular grippy sole?
No, I would say it's around 50-50 between soft spikes and hybrid shoes, as we call them.
Really?
Some people call them spikeless also. We don't like to call them spikeless because that kind of say there's no grip. So we like to call them hybrid shoes because we actually believe that hybrid shoes are more comfortable to wear. You can wear it on and off the golf course. But also all the testing we have done, you have just as good grip on hybrid outsoles in all conditions, actually, not only in good weather, but also when it gets a bit wet in the grass on your playing surfaces. So they provide plenty of grip and then we believe it's more comfortable to wear. So we are very much into hybrids and also all our male staff players, all of them, they wear hybrid outsoles and don't wear any soft spikes. So
I haven't worn soft spikes in like 5 years.
No. So there's course there's still people who likes to wear soft spikes and that's of course fair enough but we just believe that hybrid shoes is better
that's
for
the future, really, right?
Yeah.
It's like you don't want to have two pairs of shoes. Like you gotta just wear your pair of shoes, go to the golf course, and then drive home. Like you don't want to change your shoes. Like, and really, I don't know. That's my opinion. And the spikes always break, and you gotta switch them out, and they worn out. It's just stupid. Like, go buy a new pair of shoes. If you really need to. That's what Jesper would say. Go buy another pair of ECCOs.
I think that would be a good choice.
Did you have a beautiful background behind you? Were you outside or are you inside?
Yeah, I'm actually inside in my little summer house. So it's what time is it? It's 5:15 in the afternoon. Yeah, so I'm there. So it's good.
That's so cool. So you have some color changes happening in the fall, right? On the stores. And then in the spring you'll have new stuff coming out, new shoes.
Then we will have a new big launch in spring, which will happen in March. Then
after
we will
PGA
have
show, right? If there is one.
You'll be able to see them at the PGA show, yes.
That's cool. I need to get a pair of ECCO shoes. I have, like I said, I have lots of shoes, but like ECCO, I already know. Like I just want something comfortable. That's all. I don't want my feet to hurt when I'm playing golf. And so
we will have something cool coming out also actually in the spring. So we will have some very breathable shoes. And I guess you are sitting in Arizona, right, where it's fairly hot. So we will bring some good weather shoes out as well, where they just a little bit water repellent, so they will take the morning dew if it's a little bit wet in the mornings. But then it's in materials that are very, 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 very breathable, which I would imagine you would enjoy where you are. So that is one of the new inventions we're bringing out next spring also.
That's cool. Yeah, it's very hot right now. I went and played golf on Friday, and I thought I was gonna die. Like, I didn't play 17 and 18. That's how bad it was. And I drank a ton of water, but I had zero energy by 17, like zero. And then I had to drive home for an hour. I had the worst headache, and I went to bed at 7 o'clock at night. Like,
oh my god.
Hot. We teed off at 12:30 though, so that was also kind of stupid. But it's pretty brutal right now. You can get cheap tee times, but it's like, do you want to live or die? So
yeah, beat the heat.
Yeah, you can go early. Like, I went playing on Sunday. We went like at 6. It wasn't that bad, but it was 112, I think. We went and played.
Wow.
It was bad. Which is like, it never got that hot in Denmark before. So
no, never.
Like ever.
So
in case people don't know where Denmark
is,
it's right above Germany.
We rarely gets over 90. So
how far are you from Copenhagen?
I am 3 hours away from Copenhagen.
North or south?
Actually, east.
West. Oh, east of. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm on the mainland at the moment, and Copenhagen is over on an island called Sealand, and yeah. And 3 hours, that's about the longest drive you can get in this little country. So I think
I know, it's like the other side of the country, literally.
Yeah, it basically is. I think you can't drive for more than 4 hours in Denmark, from one side to another.
They hit all the corners. That'd be.
Yeah.
So then, how far are you from Germany then?
Yeah, then it's from where I am now. It's 2.5 hours to Germany, and actually where our office is basically on the border to Germany. So that's only a mile to the border to Germany.
That's cool. So like golf is going good in Europe. There's nothing. I know England was like shut down again. Like
they
shut down for a while.
Yeah, they have been pretty bad hit.
It's
but
like
still
up and down. They'll open it up and then they'll close it, and then open it up and they'll close it.
But I think they just opened up everything over in England now, and
it's like that in Canada too. Like they closed until June, or whatever it was, and people were pissed. I remember that. We never had that problem here. We were always open. So Well, I'm a big fan of ECCO. I know everybody in the chat is as well. You guys seriously make the best, freaking most comfortable shoes on the planet. That's my opinion. And I really appreciate you coming on the show today and telling us more, about what ECCO's up to, explaining the different shoes. Your background is really cool. And now we have a new friend of the show, so it's really cool too. So thank you for being on the show.
Thanks so much for having me on the show.
And I didn't realize you were in Denmark. I thought you were in Boston. So when you're like, I'm in Denmark, I was like, oh crap. All right, cool. I felt bad. So.
And thanks so much for having me on the show. And I promise we will work very hard to make even better products and that looks better and performs even better. And it's a joy to wear. So
I'm not worried about that. I already know you guys will. But cool. Well, thanks for being on the show. And I'll see everybody soon. You still there?
Yes.